Hi, Ayşe, and thank you for this opportunity. It's a privilege to be here with you guys, interacting with you guys. I'd like to start up with what I know. I'm coming from an open innovation accelerator, Workinlot, and I'm the Chief Dreamer and co-founder there. And me and my wonderful team had the opportunity to interact with startups and corporates along the way. And the first thing that we do as the entrepreneurial mindset, we ask, what is the problem? Why are we not seeing bigger number of corporations focused on impact? Another linked problem that from my experience, from our experiences, why are impact efforts more conceptual rather than concrete executionable ones in our ecosystem? Well, my answers are coming from my perspective again, and the first thing I see is the consumer demand is mostly created by boomers and next generation right now. The majority is there, and society is like a reflection for the corporates that we have. So what are some common traits that we see in our markets? Well, we're more price sensitive than value sensitive or impact sensitive. This is reality. If we cannot see this reality, we cannot tackle the problem. So how do we convert price sensitive to value sensitive? It's a journey from nice to have to a must have. It's a journey from conceptual to executionable. Well, executionable efforts like this, organization, Impact Hub, and many social entrepreneurs along with this panel, we're contributing to the cause. But we need the corporations to execute, and the final step is to show them, measure the return on investments, their return on investment. For that, we need impact measurements. We need concrete and unanimously accepted tools like B Corp provides. Understanding the problem is the first step through empathy, finding a common language. That's why whenever I go to a meeting with a startup or a corporation, I say I speak two languages. I speak startup, I speak corporate. And that's why we have to understand why we are here and how we can proceed. Our efforts collaboratively, lots of wonderful people here. Our efforts are steps we're taking to serve as a foundation for the change that has arrived. Not coming, not arriving, not soon, it has arrived. Y and Z generation will be in the corporate execution power by majority in less than 5 years. Let's take a look at Turkish demographics. Roughly around 40 million people aged 0 to 34. These upcoming generations' core value is to question things with sincerity. Why do I work for this company? The demographic change is going to be driving the cultural change. Do I want to work with a company who is the leader in their sector, or do I want to be working for a company who has some impact on my life or my society or the environment? These are the questions that these generations are asking. Trust me, because there are some employee retention problems for those companies who are resisting the change. And for our efforts, I say we're paving the way, and Mother Nature is on our side, as always. She's cruel to be kind. COVID, it's a tragedy, it's a trauma, but every trauma, every tragedy is there for us to learn. And right now we're experiencing cleaner air in Istanbul, up to 40% cleaner air, cleaner seas. And for my experience as a part of Workinlot, I'm experiencing never before seen digital collaboration and data created in human history. Our efforts of impact measurement tools, impact funding, and the corporate startup collaboration, it's going to pave the way. But now together, with the driving force of the new generations, we will see more and more corporations sincerely executing projects with the focus of impact. With that effect, I see the future where we use the terms like impact auditing rather than financial auditing. We're going to be discussing profits optimization, not maximization. These generations are on our side. They're pushing it. The agenda is here. It has arrived. And we as social entrepreneurs, our role is to pave the way, just like we're doing right now. Well, let's start off with one thing that we learned, another thing that we learned with this COVID era. We are connected to one another. Many people have been saying this. A virus proved it without a doubt. Now, I'll try to be inclusive in my answer as well. So all startups, whether it defines itself as an impact or not, are here to solve a problem that the society, environment, people have. So the first question, the first slide of every startup pitch, we ask, whose problem are you solving? Because if you're not defining a problem and if you're not solving a problem, there's no value in that. But financial gains that we're focused on are just one of many of the outputs. So what is missing in this picture? Well, we need all startups to document their impact, show how much value they created for their society and everyone. Currently, we're looking at KPIs and terms for startups that are not smart enough. The KPIs are mostly financial and technical metrics, and I don't think that is a smart way to proceed with the new generations coming up. Financial gains are just one of many outcomes. So how can we focus on value and impact if the whole metrics that we established are just on financial terms? I think we need people like Ayşe, we need people like Başak, we need people like Erdem to come up with new terms, new KPIs, so we can track them and see the value, how much value we created. Mm-hmm. And once we shift the focus of the startups to value and impact, the profits will follow. I mean, I can't imagine a startup who's creating a lot of value and then for the society and not going bankrupt. It's not possible. But how do we do that? How do you make that change? Well, we discussed there will be a rise in the demand from the corporates for impact projects. There will be. There is no doubt on that. And then we have the impact measurement tools to complement the effort. The impact funds, it will incentivize the startups. Hopefully they'll be in majority. And what will be the impact of the change? Once we have the startups looking at documenting their impact, well, let's take the Turkish entrepreneurship ecosystem as an example. So many different ethnicities, religions, cultural backgrounds. We have a border with Syria, Georgia, Greece, and people coming from so many different regions, meaning there are so many problems that people are trying to solve that we're not even aware of. So what I need, from my experience with Workinlot, is digital collaboration, tools, many tools, need to bring in these efforts, need to bring in the problems. We need to see them in order to solve them. We need to have Erdem, Başak, you and me working on same path and create solutions around these projects. I need to identify how I can contribute to Başak and how Erdem can contribute to me. That needs digital tools. So once it's there, I think most startups will be looking at impacts with all the incentivized efforts, and that it's going to make not an incremental change, but a very disruptive change.